There's a question most high performers avoid, not because they don't know the answer, but because the answer feels uncomfortable. Who are you when you're not achieving, when you're not solving, not performing, not proving, just being? For many people, success begins as something beautiful, like a dream, a goal, a vision of life they want to create. Something meaningful, something that gives direction, something that makes them feel alive. And in the beginning, ambition feels healthy. It pushes you, it helps you grow, it teaches discipline, it builds resilience, it gives you standard, it shows you what you are capable of. There is nothing wrong with ambition, there is nothing wrong with wanting more, there is nothing wrong with success. Success is not the problem. The problem begins quietly when the achievement stops being something you pursue and starts becoming the place where you look your worth, when your productivity becomes your self esteem, your results become your confidence, your performance becomes your identity. And that shift is where exhaustion begins. Welcome to Lead Your Path, a podcast about the inner side of leadership. I'm your host, Swagata Palharia, and here we explore the mindset shifts that shape how we perform, grow, and lead. I see this pattern so often, especially with people who are strong, capable, responsible, and used to being the one others depend on. The person who always delivers, the one people trust, the one who fixes things, the one who shows up, the one who stays calm when everyone else is overwhelmed. At first, it feels empowering, it feels valuable, needed, respected. People admire your consistency, they praise your discipline, they trust your judgment. And honestly speaking, you are all of those things. But over time, something starts to change. You stop resting because rest begins to feel unfamiliar. You stop slowing down because slowing down feels unsafe. You stop celebrating your wins because the next target already feels louder. And slowly, success stops feeling like joy and starts feeling like survival. Because somewhere inside, your mind quietly learns this. If I'm not achieving, I'm falling behind. If I'm not useful, I'm losing value. If I'm not performing, who even am I? That is the dangerous part. Not ambition, not excellence, not discipline, but attaching your identity to your output. Because outputs change, careers change, titles change, businesses shift, markets change, roles evolve, life interrupts plan. And if your identity is built only on performance, every setback starts feeling personal. A missed target feels like failure. Feedback feels like rejection. A slow season feels like proof that you are no longer enough. And even rest feels like weakness. Saying no starts feeling like guilt. Even taking a pause feels like you are becoming less valuable. And suddenly, you are not protecting your work, you are protecting your worth. This is exhausting because now every day becomes an emotional performance review. You constantly ask yourself, did I do enough? Did I prove enough? Did I justify my place today? And the hardest part is, sometimes from outside, everything still looks successful. People admire you. People look at your career and it looks strong. Your reputation is solid. You are doing well. But internally, you feel like you are running on a treadmill that never switches off. I remember coaching someone who said something I will never forget. She said, I don't know how to relax without feeling guilty. Not unmotivated, guilty. Because somewhere rest had become associated with losing momentum, with wasting potential, with becoming less. And I think so many people quietly live there. They don't struggle with hard work, they struggle with permission. Permission to pause, permission to breathe, permission not to be productive for every second of the day. Because underneath all, there is fear. Fear of becoming irrelevant, fear of being forgotten, fear of losing momentum, fear that if they stop pushing, everything they built will disappear. And this fear shows up in normal ways, like checking emails during dinner, feeling anxious on Sundays, taking vacations but never leaving work mentally, turning hobbies into productivity projects. Even healing becomes something to optimize. You stop asking, what brings me peace, and start asking, how do I improve this? That's when performance has fully entered identity. Because now, even your rest must perform. But here's the truth: you are allowed to exist without constantly proving your value. You are allowed to rest without earning it first. You are allowed to slow down without becoming less important. You are allowed to be enough even on ordinary days, even on quiet days, even on days where nothing impressive happens, even on days where nobody notices you. Because your worth was never supposed to be performance based. Achievement can absolutely be part of your life. Goals matter, growth matters, discipline matters. But they should never become the entire definition of your life. Because if success is the only place you feel worthy, failure will always feel fatal. And life was never meant to be lived like that. Real confidence looks very different. Real confidence is not constant productivity. It is not endless proving. It is not emotional dependence on applause. Real confidence is quieter. It sounds like this: even when things slow down, I'm still enough. Even when results change, I am still valuable. Even when success looks different, I am still me. This is the kind of confidence doesn't disappear when life gets messy. It survives bad seasons. It survives reinvention. It survives uncertainty because it was never built on performance alone. And leadership becomes healthier when identity becomes bigger than achievement. When success becomes something you create, not something you depend on to feel worthy. The strongest leaders are rarely the loudest ones. They are the ones who know who they are without applause, without validation, without external proof. They know how to lead without needing to constantly be seen leading. And that creates freedom: freedom to rest, freedom to change direction, freedom to say, this version of success no longer fits me, freedom to choose peace without calling it laziness, freedom to be present without needing every moment to become a milestone. So maybe the real question is not how do I achieve more? Maybe the real question is who am I when achievement is removed? And if that question feels uncomfortable, it may be the exact question worth sitting with. Because sometimes growth doesn't come from doing more. Sometimes it comes from learning how to separate your value from your performance, from understanding that you are more than your title, more than your output, more than your achievements, more than your productivity. And that shift changes everything. Because success should support your life, not become your identity. Until next time, lead your path.